Day 5 of Miami was in the books, and more heartache for Andy Murray. Iga and Sinner, they go through in 3, and Rune destroyed double breadstick from Maroszan. So here are the matches I'm going to be having a little word about in this podcast. And we've got to start in one place and one place only. It is Sir Andy Murray. I mean, what an incredible match against Tomas Machac. This kid is seriously good. He knocked out Andre Rublev already at Miami. And Andy Murray, I keep on doubting him. But this time, I feel like this was a match he should have won. He just got so unlucky. He was coming back from 5-2 down in that final set. Got it to 5-5. But the shot that actually got him to 5-5, he twisted his ankle as he was coming to the net to pretty much go for the changeover. It was so unfortunate. And then after that, he showed some fight, but it just wasn't enough. Machac was at such a high level, and the crowd were just treated to just an absolute amazing match. Like, everybody cheering for Andy. I mean, I'm sure Machac will understand, like, everything that Andy Murray's been through. He got a standing ovation, and credit to Murray as well. He actually stuck around, signed autographs for lots of people afterwards. And I think he can leave Miami with his head held high, because this was a performance which really put him back to the forefront of my mind. I was really impressed. I know he had the match against Berrettini, where we just were sort of putting it down to Berrettini maybe not being at the races. Looked like he was going to faint maybe a little bit on the court, and unfortunately that one didn't really show off how good Andy Murray is at this tournament. And I feel that this match really did, to be really under the cosh in this match, because in that final set it looked like Machac had really just taken him apart. Hard hitting, very deep shots. Andy Murray, to his credit though, he was just giving as good as he got in that final set, and the way he was able to turn it around with the help of the crowd as well. Tomas Machac, don't think he's in those type of matches very often where the crowd is so heavily against you, really willing Andy Murray back into the match. And it was just so unfortunate that he had the problem with his ankle. I mean, it seems like the running theme, doesn't it, at the moment? We obviously had the problems with Tommy Paul rolling his ankle, Carlos Alcaraz rolling his ankle as well. And this was sort of the look at the changeover. Took his whole sock off, took his whole shoe off, and I mean, it didn't look good. I mean, he was in considerable pain as soon as he did it, and he sort of clung onto the net. It was bizarre, because you were sort of in the mindset where you wanted to celebrate, and you saw he actually did celebrate whilst going over on his ankle at the same time. It was bizarre. It was really bizarre. It was mixed emotions for somebody who put such a big effort into coming back into the match, only to be thwarted by just a irregular occurrence. Really, he just stepped on the ankle just the wrong way. I don't know what to say about it. It looked unnatural. It just looked painful, and you don't see Andy Murray shout out in pain very often, but you could see he was very concerned as soon as he went back to his chair. Had to call a medical straight away. And, well, I mean, fair play to Machac though. He was a good sportsman, as you would expect, but that really just scuppered Andy Murray. The next game, Machac just held so comfortably, and you just had that feeling Murray was going to have to hope Mahac's level dropped for him to be able to win this match. And in the tie break, Machac he was really good. I mean, the only way you can paint it, really, he was coming to the net, volleying well, great deep ground shots, making Murray play defence. Yeah, I mean, really well played to Tomas Machac. I mean, he's having a great tournament, so you've got to give him some credit as well. He wasn't up against an old, robotic Andy Murray. He was up against the real deal. And Andy Murray, when he's coming back, you would expect him to win that match. But that injury, I mean, I really hope it's not that bad for Andy Murray. And I really hope that we get to see him playing some great, maybe some clay court tennis. I hope so. Maybe a few tournaments. But definitely, I want to see him fully fit for the grass court swing so that we get at least a Wimbledon, maybe a Queen's as well. Who knows? But Wimbledon's the big one. We want to see him there. And if he's playing like he was playing against Machac, I mean, he definitely has a chance to go through a few rounds. I mean, he looked incredible. And I even watched an interview with him the other day. He's talking like a little bit negatively because he's very sad that he can't get to the finals or the deep in competitions. This maybe was a chance for him in this tournament, but unfortunately, the injury and then coming up against somebody in such good form. But let me know your thoughts about Andy Murray's very sad heartache, I'd say, in tennis. I mean, this was what it was billed to be, really. That final set was the big Murray comeback, and we were all hoping for it, but it didn't materialise. Let me know if it upset you. It did upset me a little bit, I have to say, but it is what it is. Andy Murray will be back. I mean, he's come back from injuries before, and I'm just hoping this one isn't too bad, so we should hopefully see him back fairly soon. I mean, he played out the rest of the match, and it wasn't too bad, so fingers crossed for him. Let's move over to a person who struggled a little bit as well. That has to be said. It was Jannik Sinner. He lost the first set to Talon Griekspoor. I thought Talon Griekspoor, I mean, this is another person not spoken about enough on the tour. I mean, he is really coming into his own. Somebody who we really considered a bit of a challenger player only a few years ago. He's right up there. He can mix it with the likes of Djokovic, the likes of Sinner. He can even take sets off of these people. And he can do it on different surfaces as well. I think he's really exciting. I think that him on indoor hard court, brilliant. Him now on outdoor hard court, we know he's great on the clay as well. I'm excited to see how far he can actually push up the rankings in 2024. And Jannik Sinner, this is credit to him as well, because this is a match that it could easily have gone away from him because he was on the cusp, really, of going out, you could say, because you're very close when you're down a set and you're close at maybe 5-all in this second set. But I feel that it's just the true champion in him just upped the level a little bit. I feel like Griekspoor could see the finish line. He tightened up a bit on some of these shots. I mean, credit to Sinner that's what you get when you do become one of these great champions, is you sort of hold your nerve a lot better at those moments. I don't even think he had to do too much. He just had to hold his nerve better than Talon Griekspoor. And once that second set was won, I think we all knew the writing was on the wall for the third, and Sinner just came out and just played him, like wiped him off the court in the third set. I feel that Griekspoor, he had to win it in two. And yeah, like Jose Morgado says here, was the finalist in 2021 and 2023. He does like it in Miami. Well, and I think that he does stand a very good chance of winning the tournament. That was a real tough test, but he came through it in flying colours. And it's not how you win on your good days, it's how you win on your bad days. That's the sign of a champion. Jannik Sinner proving yet again that he is a champion. Somebody who yet to fit that bill, and I'm not sure what's going on with Holger Rune. Fabian Maroszan doing it yet again. Upset 6-1, 6-1. I mean, if that doesn't blow your mind, I don't know what will. When I saw this match and I saw the level of Maroszan, I swear this kid, he just has different level of pace on the ball in certain matches. And if he hits his stride, it almost reminds me a little bit Karatsev, like when he hits his form in a match, it's tough to play against. Everything hits the lines, everything's deep on the near the baseline. And even somebody of the class of Holger Rune didn't really stand a chance. I mean, he did look a bit lethargic on the court. I'll give him that. But I feel like you've got to show a bit more fight in these matches. And Maroszan's now beaten, Alcaraz, Rude, and Rune in his career. 3-1 against top 10 players. A giant slayer. Yeah, I mean, I'm so impressed with him. It's just crazy to think that a few years ago we were just at a challenger in Zagreb. He was there suffering with a bit of illness, really, and had to pull out of a match that he was playing. I tried to get an interview with him, but unfortunately, not the best time to get an interview when someone looks like they're going to throw up coming off the court. So, yeah, it's just amazing to see where he was then and now where he's come to. He's definitely a household name now. Everybody knows who he is. He's beaten Alcaraz, he's beaten Rude, and he's beaten Rune. And you don't get much bigger names. I mean, all you've got to do is throw in, if you can beat Sinner and Djokovic, then he's got the whole thing. But that's another thing altogether. You'd have to maybe catch them on a little bit of an off day. Who knows? Rune did come out and give a statement, and I don't know how people are going to feel about this. Let me know in the comments section how you feel about it. It says, unfortunately, this was the end of the Miami Open. I knew I wasn't feeling 100% well today, but I didn't imagine my energy level would be so low. Looking back, I should have pulled out, but it's always difficult because I've been preparing and I wanted to play for a week. Time to go back to Europe. Thanks for the support, Miami. And this one I think is going to ruffle a few feathers. I don't know how I really feel about it. I mean, fair enough. Just come out and just congratulate Maroszan, I think, would be the first thing to do. And there always seems to be a bit of an excuse when Holger Rune loses, and I don't think he has to always publicly put out an excuse. You could just say, "Oh, it wasn't my year this year. I'll be back next year stronger." But there always seems to be a reason why, and he always seems to gloss over the fact that he was outplayed in a match. I mean, I don't think he would have beaten Maroszan the way he was playing, even if Holger Rune was playing some of his better tennis. So just give Maroszan some credit and, just be a little bit more humble, I think. I think there's been some responses here. Yeah, exactly. Like you've got All About Tennis here saying, all the best moving forward, but just enough with the excuses. Just, exactly. It's what I've just said. Say Fabian played great tennis. Wish him luck. You played the match, so whether you should have pulled out or not is irrelevant. Yeah, I totally agree with that comment. I think it's a really valid one. Let me know your thoughts about the Holger Rune situation and what's going on with him. I don't really feel like he's pushed on at all in his career. I feel like he was looking good at one point, and there seems to be a bit of stalling in the progress for Holger Rune. Is it all the changing of coaches? Is he a little bit difficult to work with? We don't know. I mean, he seems to be a little bit of hothead, a little bit childish at times. I mean, we saw him even at the UTS. He sort of throws his dummy out the pram a little bit, hits balls really crazily around the arena. I don't know. The juries are still out on him. There's no doubt that he's an amazing tennis player, and on his day, he can beat the likes of Novak Djokovic. So we know he's good. We know he just needs to... I feel he just needs to get somebody in his corner who can just control that aggression, control this mindset that he gets himself in. And if he gets that, I think that we could see him go deep at a slam, win a few more Masters. Yeah, let me know if you agree, though, in the comments section below. Let's move on to the women's, though. And Iga just got through her one by hook or by crook, they normally say. And this one, well, she went down a set to love against Linda Noskova and came through 6-4, 6-4 in the final two sets. Impressive. This is what we've been saying about Jannik Sinner. Well, Iga's having to do it the hard way as well. And, well, I thought that Noskova played really well, and Iga having to get a win in, but getting a win in ugly here. And this year, it is 3-1 overall against Noskova, but this year 2-1 against Noskova. Those who wanted her to win ugly should be satisfied after today. Lots of tension and spotty forehand timing getting that 5-4 game done from Love 30 in the second set felt vital. The Czech was on the verge of another 5-2 comeback. Yeah, definitely. Iga, I feel that she's a little bit up and down with some performances, but I think we're just too used to her just like creaming players. And if you can't just get used to one thing that someone does. I mean, we were so used to Djokovic just dominating at the Australian Open. As soon as they have one bad match, everybody sort of comes down on them and just thinks like, what's wrong with that player? Well, I think it's understandable. You can have a bad match here and there. If you have a bad match and win, I think you've got to give the player credit, because I think she's done really well to come back through this one, and coming back, serving for the match at love 40 down, she came back and hit 4 winners to win the match. So I don't think we can criticise Iga too much. She's done what she needs to. She goes through to the next round, and I think she's favourite to win the whole thing, if I'm perfectly honest. She's playing Alexandrova in the next round. Could be a quarterfinal matchup with Jess Pegula on the horizon. I fully expect that. Crazy to think that this stat says since 2021, it's the 3rd time Iga has hit 50 or more unforced errors in a match, or in a WTA 1000 match. It says here that she has now won all 3 matches as well, and it was against Barbora Krejcikova, 83 unforced errors in Rome in 2021. Karolina Muchova, she hit 53, and that was in Montreal in 2023. It just goes to show she can play badly, but she can still win. Somebody who's having another one of those sort of crazy meetings again. We've had Noskova and Iga constantly meeting. We've had Garcia and Osaka keep on meeting, and this time they're sort of going 1 for 1. So Garcia won the first one in Melbourne. Then we had Osaka winning Doha. Now we've had Garcia win in Miami. And this one was a straight sets win, but very close sets. And I think you're always going to get that with this Osaka and Garcia match. Both great at serving and big power hitters. If the first set had gone the other way, maybe on the tiebreak, maybe we'll get a different result. But fair play. Garcia learned from her mistakes in their last matchup, came through strong. I'm quite excited to see exactly what Garcia does in this tournament now, because I had Osaka going quite deep in this tournament, and if you can knock out Osaka, who's coming back to a bit of form, then maybe there's some hope. But she will be facing Coco Gauff next, who came through Dodin pretty easily. I'm interested to see how that match progresses. There are a few other top matches coming up in that 4th round as well. Sakari Kalinskaya is another one you might want to watch out for. And just having a look, Pegula Navarro. I mean, I'm not really sure which way that one will go. I favour Pegula because she's good in Miami, but Navarro's proven a few people wrong. She just knocked out Paolini. But that's just a wrap-up of Day 5 action in Miami. Let me know which was your favourite match in that comment section below. And tell me your favourite match in the next round on Day 6. I'll try and bring you some more coverage later on today. But if you haven't already, hit a like on this video, subscribe, and stay tuned to the tennis. Miami is hotting up.